What is up, guys? Teddy Cornwell here. Welcome to the Underdog Talk, the world's most underrated podcast on earth. You see him, E.T.J. You know him. Patrick Taylor Jr. is in the house. The 49ers running back, a man who made his mark this season, has got a lot left in the tank. What is up, sir? How you doing today?
What's going on, man? I appreciate the introduction, man. That was a pretty good introduction. I appreciate you having me on.
Hell yeah. And man, what a season. And, before we even wind it back, what was the thoughts on obviously, McCaffrey goes down, Jordan Mason goes down, you're next. I mean, what was all that like finally getting your chance to be what you should have been all along, an NFL caliber running back? What was that all like getting your chance, your moment this year?
Yeah, I mean, it was unfortunate sequence of events with Christian going down, him missing time, and then Jordan Mason going down, Isaac Orlando going down, and me getting pushed into that role and being able to show what I could do at that level. So it had been a minute since I had been able to get the ball like I was getting. So it was extremely exciting. You know what I mean? To be able to just go out there and just play free. You know what I mean? Not thinking, just doing everything that I've been doing up that got me to that point. So
Yeah. And obviously an unfortunate event, but in the league, we call it how it is. It's a next man up league. And obviously, you mentioned three great running backs in that room. So what a room. Does January 5th ring a bell for you?
say again.
Does January 5th ring a bell for you?
That was my first 100-yard game.
109, yes, sir. 17 rushes. I mean, what was that like to finally get that 100-yard rushing game in an NFL game? What was that like?
And it was just amazing. I mean, I wasn't thinking about it during the game, you know what I mean? In the heat of the game, like I was like, man, like we need to win. Like what can I do to help my team win, you know what I mean? And then shoot, got into the locker room and it was like, yeah, that was your first 100-yard plus game, and I was like, man, that's exciting, but like you try to be excited, but like we just lost. So nah, but that was like a big milestone for me, you know what I mean? Especially coming from or overcoming the things that I've overcome to get to that point.
And something that stands out to me, obviously, you went undrafted, you fought your way onto an NFL roster. What kept you going through the process? What kept your drive and everything, moving for you?
Oh man, it's the journey, not the destination. um I made it up in my mind early, as a young kid, that playing football at a high level is something that I always wanted to do. Um, and it's not just, I mean, you see all the outside noise and people having success. Um, I tried not to focus on that. I tried to focus on my journey and where I was in that moment. Um, and that's what kind of helped me help me focus on just being in tune in my process, um and just trusting the process. I mean, it can get like redundant, right, with saying trust the process, be patient, things like that. I mean, that shit's hard,
It
you know
is. It is.
like going through it. I mean, that shit is extremely hard, but as you get over the mountain or get over that peak, you start to see, all right, this is this is going in my direction. You know what I mean? So, um, really, it is just work, man. Just work and belief in yourself. Because I mean, this is a hard profession. It's a business. It's
Yep.
a performance based business. If you're not performing well, they're going to get rid of you, and they're going to find somebody who can do it. So.
And I wasn't laughing at trust the process. I got that tatted on my bicep, so I believe every word you just said, and it's hard to trust the process at times. And
Yeah.
man, that shit gets difficult. I'll tell you that. But you got to trust it, and you got to love it. Now, obviously, high school ball, pee wee ball kind of helped shape who you are today in terms of the NFL style running back you are. But obviously, a big part of your career was Memphis. How did that shape you as a player and person? Obviously, putting up some great numbers and being a really big contributor on that team.
No, I mean, going into Memphis, I mean, Mike Norvell, he recruited me there. Daryl Dickey, he recruited me there. So being able to be in that system and get coached by such guys as that, you know what I mean? It helped me develop faster as a player. You know what I mean? Especially with the system that Coach Norvell was running. I mean, he allowed his playmakers to make plays. He put us in position to make plays, and we did. You know what I mean? I mean, we had a bunch of guys that were able to thrive in that offense. And it's also a testament to the work I put in the off seasons as well. You know what I mean? I would go straight home from winter break off of a bowl game and everything, and I'm going to put in work. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I had it in my mind. I had my mind made up at a young age that playing in the league was something that I wanted to do. So
Yeah. Now, it's kind of transitioned to NFL. You've been in pretty solid stacked backfields. Pat, what's your mindset when you're competing for reps in that stacked backfield like you had at Memphis, like in Green Bay and like obviously in San Francisco? What's that mindset like?
I mean, my mindset was always been to compete. You know what I mean? I've gotten to this point with my ability and my smarts, my intelligence of the game. Like I trust my ability just like they trust their ability. You know what I mean? And I'm going against guys that are these high level guys that have made a name for themselves in the league. So like it's a stacked backfield, but I mean I love competition. I'm not going to shy away from it. Nor should anybody shy away from competition. But it's just like that. Like I said, it's just trusting your process, leaning on the work that you put in the off season, so you won't be in those high anxiety situations and be like, oh fuck, I didn't put the work in, and now here I am. But I mean, I knew I put the work in in the off season. So when I am put in certain positions, I am able to show up and show what I can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Captain Munderland was on the podcast last week, and he was talking about going up against legendary wide receiver Steve Smith in practice, and we talked about how iron sharpens iron. And while you're not necessarily going up against this guy, you are on the same team with him. And when he's healthy, he's
It's the problem.
he's a problem. I'm just going to say it. I don't want people will say I think he's the best
Yeah.
running back in the NFL, but what is it like being on a team with Christian McCaffrey? I'm sure that you can learn so much from such a great
100%.
player. What has all that been like?
Like it's honestly been great. He's a great teammate, man. It's just unfortunate that he's just been plagued with injuries, and he had an injury this year. But man, I'm able to watch his film and break down like what he's seeing, what he's possibly seeing, what he's doing, things like that, and like especially on his routes, like I feel like he's one of the best route runners in the backfield, like in the league. You know what I mean? With him being able to run all the different types of routes, like choice routes, you know what I mean, corner routes, wheel routes, rail routes, and he's able to line up outside and run routes like a wide receiver. So being able to sit back and view and take in how he's approaching practice, how he's approaching, the game, all that stuff. So like I'm taking all of that stuff in just because he's a high prestige player. You know what I mean?
I'd say he's one of the best of all time. I mean, to add to your thing, Pat, I mean, he's one of the best in the backfield of all time. I mean, he's a superstar. And
Absolutely.
what to you makes a good running back?
Man, to me, what makes a good running back, man?
What separates a good running back from a great one? How about that?
What separates a good running back from a great running back, man? You're able to create when shit isn't there, because sometimes, I mean, guys aren't. It's not going to be blocked up every time. You know what I mean? So being able to create and being able to hit the home run, like if you're out in the open and you got space that 40 yards out, that shit needs to be a touchdown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're one-on-one with the safety, being able to make him miss and get to the house. I mean, I think that's personally what separates the good from the great running backs.
And speaking of running backs, we have some great running backs in the league, some legends. Who did you grow up watching? Who was the running back you wanted to emulate, Patrick? Like, who was that guy? Was it a Barry Sanders? Who was it?
Man, growing up, shoot, I was watching. So I didn't I didn't start to play running back until like I would say like middle school. Actually, I mean, in Little League I played running back, but like growing up, I would say it was Adrian Peterson
All
was
day.
one, and then as I got into high school, um, I saw Le'Veon Bell, and I was like, bro, this like he's like different. You know what I mean? Like Le'Veon Bell back in
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, bro, he was nasty, and like he was doing like stuff that like nobody was doing, and he was able to run routes out of the backfield, run routes at wide out, and things like that.
Yeah. Benny Snell Jr. was on the podcast, and he was saying, I mean, Le'Veon Bell in his prime is, if he could have played a little longer, I mean, you could have put him in. Yeah, you could put him in the Hall of Fame category, in my opinion. He, at his best,
He was a problem.
he was a problem.
Yeah.
Who would you compare? I mean, if you compare, I mean, obviously your running style is different than
Mhm.
most people. Would you compare your running style to any running back currently or previously?
I wouldn't really compare myself to any running back previously or any running back now. I think every player has their different type of um, I guess thing that sets them apart. Uh, and I don't really like to compare myself with anybody. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure that's the same with everybody.
No, I'd be your own man, and you are your own man. You're killing it. Now, let me ask to add on to that question. Obviously, your running style has changed since you were a Green Bay Packer. What has strengthened for you in your run game, obviously, over these years, and now being on the 49ers? Is it the vision? Is it the quickness? What is strengthened for you?
I definitely think since being in Green Bay was strengthened for me, since being with me now being with the Niners, I would say my ability to break tackles and being hard to tackle, you know what I mean? Not going down by the first tackler. And I do feel like I have gotten better with my quickness as far as I was in Green Bay. I was a lot heavier then, so like I didn't feel super quick or super fast while I was in Green Bay. So I would say that.
Now, yeah, I totally agree. I think your style is unique, and it is one of one. I like to say that. Now, how cool? I just have to ask, how cool is it? You talked about little league ball. You're in the NFL, and you just balled out. I mean, how cool is that? Has that set in with you yet? That I'm killing it in the NFL. Has that set in yet?
Man, I don't. I appreciate it, but like I don't feel like I'm killing it yet. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I still think there's work to be done, um, in in my aspect, and I feel like you know you're always gonna want more.
Yeah.
Um, so like I said, like the work you put in now will set you up for the season. So I mean, I did have some milestones that I hit with
Yeah.
me having my first, first NFL start, my first 100-yard game. Like, so, I mean, those are things to be like, all right, that's something that I did. Now, what else can you do?
Yeah. Using it as, hey, I got more in me.
Right.
Now, what is the goal for obviously the 2025 season? What does that look like for you? Do you have you set any goals yet for that season or for the upcoming season?
Um, I haven't set any goals as far as personal goals like number goals and things like that. My a lot of my goals are based on um I guess uh what I can do during the off season that's going to set me up for you know the regular season, the preseason, training camp, mini camp, OTAs, things like that.
100%. I think the off season is where a lot of warriors are made. What does the off season look like for you in training? I mean, is that an everyday in the gym thing with proper diet, proper nutrition? What does it actually look like for an NFL player in the off season?
Yeah, man. So you got to get I like it's it's year round.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You might be able to get away with about like 3 weeks or so after the season where you could just chill and you know what I mean, relax, go take a vacation, stuff like that. But once it's time to get back in the gym, like you're working out probably around 5 to 6 days a week, and you're on a strict diet. You're taking care of your body. You're getting acupuncture. You're getting physical therapy. You're getting soft tissue. You're getting massage therapy. Um, and you have like a strict diet, not a super strict diet, but you have a pretty strict diet throughout the week where you're working out. You might have a cheat meal in there once a week, but other than that, bro, like you're sticking to that strict diet because you're trying to maintain that weight that you wanna feel going into training camp, going into OTAs, mini camp, regular season and stuff like that. So I mean, it's pretty strict. Yeah, it's pretty strict.
Now, real quick, what is your go-to cheat meal, if you mind me asking?
Go to cheat meal, man. Oh man. um, man, I like, hmm,
Is it a pizza,
bro,
burger kind of thing?
bro, like I like it, like burgers and fries, like Waterburger,
Oh yeah.
and then like sourdough pizza.
Ooh,
Like, bro, like that has like a soft spot where I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be my cheat meal for the day.
yes,
You know
sir.
that?
Hey, you heard it. Even NFL athletes get cheat days.
Mm.
Now, how do you balance football with life outside the game? You talked about it being basically a 300 everyday kind of thing.
Mhm.
This is your profession, this is your job. How do you balance football with life outside the sport you love?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of you kind of got to know when to, I guess, turn it off.
Okay.
Like when you're in the building, or when you got to go and work out, things like that. I try not to bring that home, because I'm married, and I have a daughter now.
Wow.
Um,
Congratulations.
so thank you, I appreciate it. She's 8 months now. Um, yeah, she's getting big, bro. Uh, but um, yeah, I mean, you just try not to bring that home, and let it get in the way of, like your everyday life with your wife, your daughter, your family, your friends, things like that. Um, so I mean, I think that kind of answered your question, but I'm not sure.
No, I think that answered my question. I mean, it's easier said than done. Personally, for me, that is a problem that I have. So, I
Mm.
think you can master that. That is definitely an amazing thing on balancing that work and life balance. Has she been to a 49ers game yet, if you mind me asking?
Yeah, so she came to all the home games.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, all the home games. Yeah,
So she saw daddy score or
yeah,
put up 105, baby,
yeah,
105. Sorry, 109. I shouldn't have said
uh,
105.
yeah.
I shortcutted you on 4 yards. Now, if you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice, your younger self, whether that be in Memphis, whether that be in high school, um, what would that be?
Um, one piece of advice that I would give myself back in. hmm, that's a good question.
Got you thinking
Uh,
there, Patrick.
I got to think about that one.
Hey, it's a deep question.
Hmm,
I'm trying to think what I would say to myself. Honestly, my thing would be what you said earlier. To trust the process. I
yeah,
feel like I think that hit home for me. I would
yeah.
tell myself to trust the process.
I would say, I would say back in high school, I would have told myself back in high school, and reiterated back in college, to everything, every negative or struggle or challenge that you have to endure or go through. Just know that the outcome of that is going to make you a better person, better man, better teammate, better player, um, and shoot, then on to make you a better husband, a better father. Um, that's probably what I would have told myself.
No, I was deep, and I love that.
Yeah.
Now, what's your biggest motivation on and off the field for you, um, personally?
Personally, man, um, bro, I have the desire to, and and this is for my younger self. Like, I have the desire to be great.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to be a guy that, you know people people see and be like, man, damn, he's good.
Yeah.
Like, he was damn good. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be, like, I want to be great. Like, I have that desire to be great, and like the only way that I can set myself up for that is by the work that I put in. You know what I mean? To set me up to play well on Sundays, Thursdays, Mondays, things like that.
Yeah. I felt every word on that, man. Damn.
Yeah.
Now to add on to that, what do you want your legacy to be when your playing days are over? Obviously, you talked about being a great. You talked about people knowing your name. What else did you want your legacy to be on that field and off that field?
Um, well, I'll give you like off the field now since I kind of gave you on the field. Like I want my teammates to say like he was a great teammate.
Yeah.
Um, he was reliable, um, and he showed commitment. You know what I mean? He was gonna put it all on the line for us and things like that. I I'll probably say that because I mean I think at the end of the day, you know, a lot of people are gonna say, yeah, he was great. You know what I mean? He was a great player, things like that. But like your teammates who knew you,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, knew you in the locker room, uh, knew you in meetings and things like that, and say like, oh, like he was a great leader or he was a great teammate. You know what I mean? So I feel like that would do it for me.
And you're hitting me on all these emotions, man. But it's a team sport, and that is the answer. You win as a team, you lose as a team. One player, most of the times, won't completely win a game in this National Football League that we love. It's a
Yeah.
team sport, and if you're clicking as a team, that's how you just grind. I mean, some of the best teams have been the most complete teams to win the Super Bowl. Um, man, now, what would your biggest tip be for someone who's looking to make it to the NFL? Like you once were from Memphis, what would that be?
My biggest tip or to
Biggest
someone
advice.
that hmm, I would say, man, just really just go big on those dreams that you have of wanting to play in the NFL. And just know that everybody's journey is different. There are going to be people that get drafted. There are going to be people that go undrafted. Um, at the end of the day, it's up to you, mentally and physically, uh, to get to that point to see like, hey, this is something that I want to do. Like if you have that positive self-talk and that manifestation piece of saying that you're gonna do this, like I 100% believe you will do it because I manifested me getting to this point, me having my first start, me having my first 100-yard game, me getting to the NFL, me signing a scholarship to the University of Memphis, me getting offers from all these different colleges. So like I would definitely say manifestation is a big piece of that.
I like how you said a point. You said a point about that 100 yards, about obviously getting your start, because a point is where you can build on, and there's so much more for you. And I asked earlier, I said, are you're proud of where you are right now, but you're not satisfied. I feel like I get that
Right.
energy because you have so much more in the bag as a teammate, as a player. Man. Now, this is the underdog talk, and the final question for you is,
Hmm.
what has been your underdog moment where everything kind of felt stacked against you?
Hmm.
The odds were not in your favor, and you came out, you conquered, and you did what you have to do. What was that moment?
Man, how much time do you
Yeah, we have time.
have?
Yes, you
Nah,
want.
um, man, it's been a grind.
Yeah,
This whole my whole career, um, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
you're right.
Uh, so my senior year, I had an unfortunate injury. First game of the season, going against Ole Miss. Um, had a pretty good game. Got late in the fourth, and I ended up having Liz Frank in my foot. Um, So I ruptured a ligament in my foot, ended up having to get surgery. Got surgery, was out 8 weeks, ended up coming back, played the last 5 games, um, and then went to the combine. Was told I needed to have another surgery, ended up having another surgery, and then what hurt me the most was me having these aspirations as a young kid of hearing my name called on draft day. You know what I mean? And I had all my family there and didn't get my name called. You know what I mean? And in that situation, a lot of people, would have been like, "Oh man, you know what I mean? Why is this happening to me?" But like, it's like, okay, like I'm gonna show you.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so I would say that was probably one where, cause like man, that hurt.
Yeah.
Cause I worked, so hard, since I was little, playing little league football, middle school, high school, and then college, and then I didn't get drafted. So, I mean, the journey continues.
Yes.
Um, but man, I mean, I think about that. I think about that consciously when I'm working out.
Yeah.
When I have a game, you know, it that moment pops up in my head, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so I would definitely say that.
and and it wouldn't be any other way because you are where you are now. Everything happens for a reason. I don't know if you believe in that, but that's something I believe in. You are
Absolutely.
not where you are. You are chasing greatness. A setback created you into an absolute lion and a beast. So, and for Underdog Talk, I'm a big Cowboys fan, and my
Yeah.
favorite player undrafted is Tony Romo. Now, my second favorite player is also undrafted, Patrick Taylor
I
Jr.
love it.
Patrick, it was an honor, man, and I loved every answer you said. I mean, you are a team player through and through. Now, before we go, the floor is yours. I know, are you working on anything in the off season? I see you play video games and stuff like that as well.
So I game as well. You know what I mean? I would say that's my little side thing that I like to do. I have a passion for gaming, so I stream on Twitch and I'll stream on TikTok. Um, but yeah, yeah.
Do you play as the 49ers and just put yourself as the starter?
I've done that before.
I
Yeah,
would too. I
I've,
would too.
I've done that before, but Madden has disrespected me multiple times on multiple occasions. Where at one point when I first got on Madden, I think I might have been like a 57, but now like I'm a 62. It's still pretty disrespectful. But we keep pushing.
I don't think they saw the Cardinals game. We'll leave it at that. And
Yeah.
guys, shout out to our guy Zenjoy for getting this podcast right. And what we're gonna do is everyone follow Pat on Instagram. His links will be in the bio. First person to follow him and send me a GM, we'll get you a special Pat Taylor Jr. 49ers jersey out to you. We're gonna make that happen because this, like we said, is destined for greatness. And guys, don't forget to follow Pat next year as he grinds and shines in the National Football League. And until next time, Underdog out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Until next time, see ya.